Welcome to the Desert Vibe. Now, if you've spent any time around the Phoenix music scene, there's a pretty good chance you've heard the voice, the soul, but perhaps not the story of Diana Lee Messana. Fifth generation Arizonan, raised here in the Phoenix area. We'll find out how you can start in like a kind of mom and pop family owned music store over in Glendale. It leads to sharing stages with people like, I don't know, Diana Ross, Sister Sledge, Stevie Wonder, Reba McEntire, Garth Brooks, David Foster, Trisha Yearwood, Frida Payne, got my interest now, Jeffrey Osborne, Gloria Gaynor, on and on it goes. Maybe even Walt Richardson, I'm not sure. And then bring it all full circle by coming on home again. So today Diana performs all over the valley, appearing at venues that if you're kind of in the jazz bluesy stuff, you're going to know about. The Nash, Eddie V's, West Side Blues and Jazz, Ravenscroft, I love that place, Herberger, they're all neat. And concert stages kind of all over this region. She's also the creative force behind the YouTube show Diana Lee's Soul Kitchen. So I'm Glenn Gardner, Walt Richardson is right over there. We're going to find out just what Diana is cooking right now.
Hey, Diana. Walt Richardson here. How you doing, baby?
Good.
It's good to have you on the show.
Good to see you.
Diana and I crossed paths along the music scene probably about in the 80s or late 80s and the 90s and everything. Very musical, very talented. One of those people that I had to say, okay, I got to get my chops together, and then just started going to the clubs and seeing her play. And then down the road, we would get together, and she'd sit in on some of my shows. So I'm going to jump right off on that on the program, getting right on into the sauce here. You've recorded a lot of. You've got quite a few recordings out there, right?
Yeah, I have. I've got 3 albums out. The first one I did was Mentor. Well, the first recording I did was in the 80s with Taylor over at Chaton Studios.
Yeah.
You remember that place?
Yes.
And that was Call on Your Friends and Decisions, and that was in the jazz idiom and kind of R&B idiom. And gosh, that was fun. That was the first one. That was on, believe it or not, 45. If I really want to go back, the first record I ever recorded on was Glass.
Okay.
Because my father, Lee Dominguez, my mom and dad had a music store. My mom was Ruby. You probably remember her too. And I grew up in that music store. But before the music store that they opened in 1960, Dad had a recording studio.
Oh.
And it was just in the back of Mom and Dad's house. I was just a baby, 2 years old, and so Dad said, "Well, I want Diana Lee to sing this, to sing Jingle Bells." So I did. So that was really the first recording that I ever did. So that was a long time ago. I feel like I've been on every format that exists, and so have you. Glass, vinyl, 45s, 33s, CDs, DATs, everything, right? We've been through it all.
You've been through it all. Speaking, you bring up an extra interesting point here. We've been focusing on a lot of the live music, the music scene here in Arizona, in comparison to the music scene out there in various parts of the nation here. But you touch on something right here about studios. Tell me what your experience let the listeners know your experiences of the studios out here, and what do you feel about them, and where was your favorite one, or what's your best one?
There's nothing more fun than, except for, actually, I take that back. Performing live on stage there's nothing like that either, because it's a once in a lifetime performance, and the whole thing is to see how it's going to go. But in the studio, I'm talking Clark Rigsby's Tempest Studios in Tempe. He's the genius. He only recorded a few people like Paul McCartney, but he's he's so knowledgeable, and he's so gifted in bringing out in us artists, because he's done thousands. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, we had him on the show not that long ago, so
Did you have him on the
yeah,
show?
Yeah,
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 He's
yeah,
awesome. I love
yeah. He
Clark
was great.
for him. He was the one that came out with his remote studio and
hmm
recorded me and Donnie Dean, which I'll go into later. But so Clark Grigsby's one, John Herrera. I don't know if you know that name. When
yeah,
I was doing, you mentioned it earlier, where we did the Diana Lee Soul Kitchen shows.
hmm
That was produced and at the studio of John Herrera.
yeah,
So, and it was really fun. So John Herrera was part of that. Rachel was our videographer, and it was a very small team, but it was during COVID. And the whole purpose of that was to raise money for, because I mean, my sisters and brothers in music were out of work, and they weren't, we don't work, we don't get paid. So I was trying to raise money for them. At that time, I was teaching.
hmm
So I was okay, but I was really worried about my friends. And so I started to do that show, and I think there's like, I don't know, 6 or 7, 8 episodes, including Sister Sledge. They're on there too. But I was so happy, and it was a blast for me to do that show with John Herrera at it was Clamsville, his studio that he has in
So,
Chandler.
and you mentioned Chaton or Pantheon. Which one of those did you?
Chaton, well, I've been to
Okay.
both. Chaton,
Okay.
I recorded there. I recorded at Pantheon too. I recorded at all of them that were around in those days. That was fun. I mean, Glendale Studios, and now I can't even remember some of the names of the studios that I
Yeah.
recorded at, and
Yeah.
I would work on other people's projects as well as my own. So
Yeah. Well, you've done a great job in the music community, and I think that people that are actually seeing you for the first time, getting to know you, what would be something about you that would surprise them in terms of just you, just Diana, period?
just well, if we go back, I am an Arizona girl. And were you born in Arizona?
Who, me?
Walt,
Me?
you were?
No, no. I'm a military brat, so I was born in Eglin Air Force Base in Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I was born here, and I love the history of Arizona, and I have so many relatives. Grandma was born 1898. She came in a basic covered wagon, literally, with great grandpa, and in like a 1910s year from Wilcox, Arizona, Bisbee,
hmm
and came up in a covered wagon and homesteaded, because in those days you could just say, well, this land is mine.
Yeah.
Wow, where did those days go? But
Oh
anyway,
yeah, man.
be awesome, right? But, in those days you could. So great grandpa built a 2-story house on 7th Avenue Buckeye.
Mm.
And then grandma proceeded to have, she had 18 children.
That's
13,
it?
That's how the population exploded here in
Huh?
Phoenix. Okay.
Were
That's
they were they were they musical?
they they weren't musical like my mom and dad were. My mom and dad had a country band, so that was, and my mom said I was singing in the womb, and they named me after a singer named Diana that my dad had recorded in that studio I was telling you about,
Yeah.
before they had the music store. And so that's why my name's Diana. Oh, and I go by Diana Lee only because I don't give any of my ex-husbands credit for my career. So my name, my middle name is Lee because my dad's name was Richard Lee. And so that's I go by Diana Lee and give homage to my parents and my family. But Grandma Beth, I mean Grandma Cayas had 13 of her own, and then 5 she adopted, because in those days, in the early 1900s, people died of tuberculosis and emphysema, those
Mhm.
kinds of stuff. So a lot of children were lost, and a lot of people were lost, and Grandma took in 5 other children from a cousin.
Jeez. Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I was wondering, Diana, how did you make that transition from local music store in Glendale, Arizona, fifth generation Arizonan? And it probably didn't happen this way, but when I look at your bio, it's like a nanosecond later, you're working with Sister Sledge and Stevie Wonder and on and on. What happened? How did that transpire?
Well, I uh I was very lucky. I really, really consider myself lucky that I grew up in that music store because I was around nothing but musicians. So I would come in the store and I'd be there, working behind the counter and all that stuff, and then maybe working in the office and hi Diana Lee, all that stuff. And I got to know these. As a matter of fact, when I was little, I think I was 12 or 13, and I was already singing because I knew when I was 8 years old that that's what I wanted to do. I was very lucky that I had all these teachers, God bless them, that worked with me. And they said, well, we're gonna, I'll never forget it. I'll just tell a little story if we got the time. But
Yeah.
I was 8 years old, and mom and dad had the music store, but I was in class in my music class, and I had a German music teacher. And it was Mr. Quantz. He was very strict. He was very,
Go figure.
oh, he was very, very German. And so we were doing glockenspiel in the class, and so I didn't even realize that I was singing what the melody was as we were playing the music, and then he stopped the class and goes, "Stop!" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what is?" So he goes, "You come here," and he brought me to his piano, and he says, "Sing this note." And I, did, and I go, "Sing this note." And he was going all over the piano, and I was singing every note all the way. And he goes, and I thought, "Oh no, I'm in really deep trouble." And then he goes, see me after school. You're gonna be here after school." I said, "Oh, okay." That man, Mr. Quant, worked with me every day after school. He put me in competitions. He wanted me to be an opera singer. And he said to me when he would get frustrated with me, he would say, "I don't even know why I fooled you, Diana Lee. You're probably gonna just grow up and sing pop music anyway."
Oh darn. He was
Yeah,
right.
he was right. Pop and jazz, man, that was the deal. And so, but oh man, what a wonderful experience. And I was very lucky all throughout life to have teachers, God bless them, that took me aside. And he didn't get paid for this. He just did it. And so my first concert was Christmas, 8 years old, singing "Oh Holy Night" in German because he had me singing in different languages. And he had a choir, the full choir was behind me, and him playing piano. And we're in this little auditorium in the middle of winter here in Phoenix, and all the families are there, and they're like church pews in the aisles, and so I was actually nervous. I told Mr. Kwan, I said, I'm nervous. I go, what do I do? What do I do? He goes, yeah. He goes, "You see that clock in the back of the auditorium?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You look at that clock. You don't look at anything else." I was like, okay. Okay. So I just looked at the clock, and I started singing the Cantique Noel. And then all of a sudden I looked in the first row out of the corner of my eye, and it was a man and woman crying. And then I looked back up at the clock, and then I looked back at the other side, the first row, and they were crying. And then I looked in the second row, same thing. Second row on the other side, same thing. Third row, and I saw my mom and dad. They were crying as I was singing. And I looked up at that clock, I'll never forget it, and I said, "I want to do this for the rest of my life."
At 8 years old.
At 8 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people cry when I sing, but it's for a totally different reason. It's
Oh
a lot of
man.
time there's tears of joy when I finish. But so what was the break? What was the break that got you from little music store in Glendale to a much wider audience across the world?
I would say just continuing to do it every day. So I was in bands. I remember going, I was 17, 18 years old, right out of high school. And I was, again, very lucky that I had all of these mentors and went right to college and said, and basically, my boyfriend at the time, his name was Carlos Marcos, who was a guitar teacher at the music store, and he just took me and he said, "You're not going to be just a dumb girl singer. You're going to know what you're doing." And so we went to school. We went to UCC. We went to all kinds of things. Studied under Baxter. I don't know if you remember that name, but anyway, so all of these people, and then all of these times that I was on the road. So at that age, we were performing and playing, and I was playing keyboards, kick and bass, and singing, and continuing to sing. And I had learned how to play flute because Mama said, "What instrument you want to play in band?" And I said, "Flute." And so all of this stuff just kept on happening and happening. And well, when I was little, when I was 12 or 13, when I started all this story, there was a Mexican band that came in. They loved hearing me sing, and then we'd always jam in the back room in the where they try out instruments. And so they approached my dad. Lee Dominguez, and they said, "Hey, we want to take Diana Lee on the road. We do it now. You got these two Mexican guys that are in this Hispanic band, and a 12-year-old. So what do you think Dad said?"
Over my dead body.
H to the no, baby. So it was like, but I knew that was kind of a destiny for me. So I went on the road, sang and played and had all this experience. When I came back, started a band called Galaxy, long time ago, in another galaxy far away, and it was fun. It's in you, and Walt definitely knows, and everybody knows. I have. It's something you have to do. You have to. So yeah. I went and just because I guess it's just because I was out there so much, way back in the days, Walt, you remember the Black Angus days and the Daros days and Scottsdale and singing everywhere. And because of that, and also music, is so underground. So it's like people will know because they perform, or they'll know because it's all underground, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Diana.
Yeah.
This is so nice because it gives us the opportunity to ask the big question. You've toured, you've been in other regions, and you're here in Arizona, and you haven't relocated to, say, Nashville or LA or anything outside of the family. Give us your take on why you're here, what you see here as opposed to what you see in, like, say, LA or Nashville in terms of the music community.
In terms of the music community, there's people like yourself. There's people like Francine Reed, the Reed family, and Margot Reed. Let me just quote Margot Reed. They were like mothers to me, and anybody that's been in the Valley knows the name, the Reed family. I mean, they're just amazing. And I love them. I can't even tell you how much I love them. But Margot would always say, "I like the thing." And that's, you can so see her saying that.
Okay, second see
her saying that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that sums it up. But in Arizona, it is different than LA. I spent a good part of the 10 years from the 1990 to 2000. And many things happen. There's just not enough time. I'm going to hopefully, I'm trying to write a book called "Can't Make This Beep Up." So, because people don't know what we go through as musicians, what it takes to actually finally come to the final result of actually a performance, and it takes all those musicians together, and the magic that comes with in mind. What I tell the guys and girls is, "Hey, let's take a trip. Want to take a trip? This is going to be fun. If you don't, I don't know what to say." That's what we're in it for. And there's so many talented musicians here. I've always known that, and I've always been so supportive because of the music store. And it always has, I really do believe that some kind of Native American always calls me back and says,
Yeah.
you belong in Arizona? Nope. This is where you go. My children are here too. That's also a big factor. But for music, there's so much talent and it's so fun to play. I like doing any kind of music. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm theatrical performances when I was doing Red River Opry, or Phoenix Theater with
Mhm.
the best Michael Bernard, who is an incredible director. So I've been in many, many musical situations,
Mhm.
and there's plenty here to choose from.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's why I love it here, because it is very.
I've coined this area uh, the great co-op of musicians because everybody helps everybody else with projects and everything. If you need a lead guitar player on one night, and somebody steps up and they might not know your material literally, but they can figure it out enough to make the show work because you can go ahead
Absolutely.
and front the whole thing. When you talked about teachers and the great teachers that you have, I would like to, through you, share the story of what a moment that I saw where you were on stage opening up for Gladys Knight, and
Oh,
just recently at the
with Charles Lewis, with
with
Charles
Charles
Lewis.
Lewis,
God
and
bless
Charles
him.
Lewis is a very, very well-known, pianist here. He will be on the show. We're gonna get him on the show.
Oh, that's great.
That person, um, is dynamic. His vibe is everywhere here, and he's touched so many people and been in so many people's, band, lifting him up as a musical director and as a teacher. And you had a moment where you said, about him being your mentor when you he taught you for a while, and then
Mhm.
you guys circled back this many years later, and the two of you are on stage, and you gave a shout out to the teachers, and that place
Absolutely.
just erupted. And and Glenn, check this out. She's going along and singing and everything, and it's just her and he. He's on the keyboard, she's singing and everything. We get to a part, you decide, okay, we're gonna bring this up a little bit. You I think you played the flute that night. Didn't you play the flute a
I
little bit?
played the flute. Yep.
And then she does the signature Diana Lee thing, you know, reach in here at the top right here, boom, 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 pull out the harmonica, and then blew the crowd away. Tell us about that
Well,
experience. What was it like to be with Gladys Knight and in that show?
yeah, put the kids in the next room, but it really is all about sucking and blowing. Well,
I have plenty of experience.
We aren't going to go into that part,
Oh
Glenn.
yeah.
This is
well, it's because, and I don't know if you remember who Joe Bethencourt is.
yes,
You
yes,
remember Joe Bethencourt?
yes,
He's
yes.
the guy that taught me how to play harmonica.
Oh,
And he was a teacher at the music store. And so I said, I want to learn how to play harmonica. And so, and God bless him. And you talk of teachers, and he just popped into my mind. And then I'm like, okay, so he would stutter. He
hmm,
stuttered. And so like a half-hour lesson with him would take a couple hours. He, I
that's
didn't
good.
mind it. I
Diana,
didn't
that's cold
mind it.
blooded.
I didn't mind it because I loved him so much. He was so sweet. But
Yeah,
he's the one that taught me how to play harmonica. And he could play everything too. He
yeah,
played mandolin, banjo,
yep.
guitar, he sang, and he never stuttered, of course, when he sang.
No,
Kind of like, who was it? Eddie Rabbit. It was the same. You don't stutter when you sing. And
yeah.
he was an amazing talent. I just adore him. But he's one of the Phoenix's own. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm,
you are.
hmm,
Like Francine, and even though they moved to Atlanta, and even though they're from Chicago, they're still Phoenix's own.
hmm.
Yeah,
Very
well, he was really instrumental too in getting the whole kind of folk movement going here.
absolutely him and Hans Olsen.
Him,
Yeah.
Hans Olsen, Lon Austin, people like that really propelled that whole side of Phoenix's music community. But we don't have all that much time left here, Diana. But I'm just wondering, what's next for you? What is the next step? And you've accomplished so much, and I wonder sometimes with folks who are so accomplished, been on so many stages that it's like, well, where do you go now?
My the gift that I received through music is being able to perform. So I tell people all the time, I love being on stage and I love performing music and I love singing and I love everything that happens. So you're gonna have to bear me to shut me up, and even then I won't shut up. So just so everybody knows, it's not gonna stop. But this is what we do, and if most recent, well, I mean, immediately I'd be remiss if I didn't say upcoming performances. So July 4th is Independence Day. I'm going to be performing at Eddie V's, but it's going to be early so that everybody can see fireworks. So my jazz quartet will be there from 5 to 8 instead of 6:30 to 9:30. So that's July 4th, Independence Day. And then Thursday, July 23rd, I'm going up to Prescott to perform at Cosmos Theater. And that is with Beth Lederman and Mike King. And I'm just very excited about that show as well. So that's going to be July 23rd. So just get online, go to the Cosmos Theater Arts, and that's going to be the next big show coming up. But just performing. I want to perform and perform. I also would be remiss if I didn't mention Donnie Dean, because Donnie Dean and I were, been together 10 years and even longer. And we have 2 albums out, Gimmick Free and Piece of My Soul. And so we were in the process of recording our 3rd album, which was being done in Oakland. We had a record deal in San Francisco. So we were in the process of it. We're calling it the Oakland Sessions now. We were halfway finished with the record. And then of course, like, this is the music business. So the owner of the record company was murdered. So it kind of put a kibosh on the project. So, but Donnie and I are trying to finish it up. So that's coming up too. And it's going to be called Oakland Sessions. So that's the latest thing. So as long as we can continue to make music, that's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's a good goal.
This is so beautiful. I'm glad Glenn teamed up with me when I had the idea of bringing this podcast, making it happen, as something that's been 2 years on the back burner. And with Glenn's knowledge of radio and bringing successful radio, and I've had my experience with radio with a syndicated program as well, I thought it would be good to put something together where people could come in and hear a conversation about musicians in the Valley, what it's like, and why we all chose to stay here as opposed to going into other areas. And you're right. It's a grassroots kind of thing, and that's where I think the new music scene, the new what's going forward in all of the arts. It's almost like this is what it's like to be inside the beginning of a renaissance in music. It starts all over from little places, little coffee houses, little bars, and it grows by word of mouth. And so you have touched on that a lot with your family and the influences they've had through the music community, through the music store. You've touched so many people's lives, and it's been a pleasure having you on the show. And while we were talking on the show, I have another series of shows that I'm doing that fit right within that grassroots part that I'm going to ask you to be a part of, and we'll talk about that after. When I'll give you a call later on today. But I want to thank you so much for being on the Desert Vibe podcast, and I hope that people have learned from you, and it makes them curious about what you have going on, so they could look into your website, or they can contact us, and we would be happy to
absolutely Facebook, Instagram, all the social platforms.
Yeah. I love you, and I love the story of your family. It just means a lot. True Arizonan here.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Diana Lee, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And I look forward to next time we run into each other somehow, some way, somewhere. Gigging musicians, say,
Yeah.
come on over on a Friday night. Well,
Hey, be careful when you ask her to show up because you
she
better have
will.
this stuff together because it's going to be her show.
All
Okay,
right,
there's
I'm
gonna be
okay with that. Kick back and
Dennis
relax,
Rowland
right?
said that a lot. Well,
Yeah, if it turns into the Diana Lee show the minute she steps up on the stage, so you better be finished or have something coming up afterwards that's fireworks or you're standing there holding a
that's fun.
puppy or something like
Just
that.
have dinner.
Just have dinner. Thank you,
Diana,
Diana.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Wait, before you go, real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, here you go.
Yeah, the only
There you go.
All right, thank you.
Bye. Bye, Annie. Love you.
Oh, that was neat.
That was great. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Good
Thanks, man.
good information and man, I mean there aren't too many people that you could talk to around here that have 5 generations
I know.
of experience
Yeah.
really in music
Yeah.
in Arizona. That's pretty
You know
cool.
what? Before we jump on, I want to let everybody know we're getting ready to go into the next part of this program. What's vibing in the desert? What's vibing in this whole area? Sometimes we kind of limit it to the desert, but it reaches into the whole Southwest. I mean, you know, it's Arizona, but it affects New Mexico. It affects you know, LA and all of that, just like she was talking about, and in
Yeah.
terms of where she's been recording and all that. So the next part of this, what's vibing in Arizona, we have our co-host and wonderful person and extremely talented. What else was I supposed to take in?
I think effervescent is a good
Effervescent.
word.
Come on,
I like that word.
Effervescent.
That's too weak. That's too weak, man.
Yeah.
It's got to be cosmic.
Well, think effervescent is also like Alka-Seltzer.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Hey, Jamie
Well,
Ray.
hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Jamie, what's got happening on live, loud, and local, baby?
Hey, y'all. It's Jamie Ray. Welcome to Live, Loud, and Local on the Desert Vibe podcast. This is where we spotlight everything musical in Arizona. So happy Thursday, June 25th. You guys, I've got some exciting places to share with you today.
Right on.
So if you want to get out of the heat, it's summertime. So we're hot down here in the valley. If you want to get out of the heat, I've got a couple of great places for Arizona weekend getaway. So let's move on over to Jerome. We haven't talked about Jerome. And it is one of if you haven't been to Jerome, you can discover the best live music there. They've got some hidden gems. They've got festivals, concerts. They've got a lot. So whether you're looking for a day trip or a weekend escape, I'm going to take you to Jerome this weekend because they are so full of energy this weekend. They have a great festival, and the whole town turns into just this big, huge block party. They've got art galleries, incredible restaurants. It's one of Arizona's best live music scenes that I think is kind of a secret that unless you've been there, you don't know.
That's right.
So this weekend they've got the Jerome Music and Arts Festival, and like I said, the town just becomes a big stage. It's free, it's family friendly. You can find music around every corner. It's just a huge block party open to the public. You can stroll through downtown, browse all the local shops. So much fun to go through those shops. And you'll be able to see over 20 musicians and performers, local and regional acts, bands, singers, songwriters, all genres of music. That's what I love about it, too. It's not just one specific genre of music. They've got Americana, blues, folk, rock. Some of the featured artists include Sister and the Sun, Muddy Rabbit, Melody Grace, Dub and Down with the Blues.
Oh,
Want to see that? There's many more, but there's musicians playing at multiple venues all throughout the town. So just if you want to get away, this is the weekend to go there. And make sure you stop by for live music at the legendary Spirit Room, one of my favorite places. Los Jones will be playing there Saturday, June 27th at 2 o'clock. But there's going to be a lot of music there, and it's the perfect escape from the valley heat. and just a chance to experience one of Arizona's most unique music destinations, in my opinion. That's my opinion. It's
You know,
it's just a secret, place that I don't think people get to, especially if you're a tourist in Arizona.
yeah,
Unless you know about Jerome, you're not going to Jerome.
right, right. It's true. And you hit the nail on the head with it. Being here, you've been in the state for a while. I've been here for quite a while. It is, I don't know, it's like a best kept secret.
Oh, it is.
And you get there in that town. And one of the things I might add to people who are going up there is, uh, and it's not a discouragement, it's a fact. Parking can get tight in that little town because you're on the side of a
It's true.
mountain. It's
True.
Literally,
curvy.
that's hanging right off the
True.
side,
It's hanging
That
right
actually.
that
on the
is
mountain.
true.
Yeah.
It's a
And I probably
beautiful,
should have said that because if you haven't
yeah,
been there, that is. And the other thing, Walt, it's
Maybe you
haunted.
should just walk.
it's haunted. Yeah, it
You,
is listed as one of the
it
haunted
is.
places in that series and everything like that because li- it wasn't it one of the at one point in time it was a capital. Was it a capital of
Yeah.
Arizona at one
Yeah.
point in time?
Years ago.
Yeah.
Probably your time, Walt. Glenn and I weren't around, but your time. Yeah,
Well,
but it really is haunted. Jeremy and I, that's one of our favorite places to go. There's always music. I mean, this weekend is a big festival, but
yeah.
it's a gem. I love it.
It's just an artsy kind of
It
place. I
is.
mean,
Yeah,
it's
I was up there a couple of weeks ago, a couple of weekends ago, and we just took a day trip because I was in the village of Oak Creek anyway, and went up there to see a band playing at the Spirit Room. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and I had played that place, and Spook Hall is another one out
Oh,
there. It's another
great
venue.
place. Yeah.
But I found some really nice pottery. I love pottery and clay,
Yeah.
and found some really nice raku up there. But the music was fun. It was in the afternoon.
I love pot. Do they have
Uh,
just the pot part
hey,
up
I
there?
bet they
Or
do. I
look,
bet
there's
they
a whole
do.
story about that we can't even
I'm
get on.
sure there is.
Because it turned into the podcast instead of a podcast.
It is a great little place. It's eclectic. It's got everything. It's got
Yeah.
something for everybody. But it's definitely worth, and it is a day trip. You don't have to stay overnight. It's a
No,
day trip.
it's
It can be a day trip and get out of the
yeah,
heat
yeah.
and it's lots of fun. But I want to talk to you too, Walt. I know you talk about this place a lot. I want to share with you Bisbee, Arizona.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Bisbee.
oh yeah. Look,
Colorful, historic mining town. My husband's a miner. Y'all know that. He retired from the Coast Guard and now he drives a big truck. He loves
oh
being a
yeah,
miner.
he's in that area, isn't he? In that area?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Bisbee, it's just one of those great little historic mining towns, but it's become one of Arizona's most vibrant arts communities. You can
Yeah.
explore galleries, coffee shops, breweries, local restaurants that have some great food, but they've got live music. And throughout the weekends, they really have live music,
Hmm.
especially in the summer because it's a little cooler there. So
Yeah.
before you head to Bisbee, though, you can check their community events calendar. It's called This Week in Bisbee. It's their entertainment guide to what's going on. It's
Hmm.
published every Tuesday, and they have weekend updates on Friday.
Yeah.
So it's the perfect town to slow down, explore, discover Arizona's incredible talent. Just to name a few, there are the places this is my opinion, that I've been. The Bisbee Social Club.
Yeah.
It's a speakeasy style cocktail bar. The Bisbee Royale, nice restaurant with a full bar, theater. They have live music. They host bands,
Hmm.
concerts.
Hmm.
And then during the summer, the Courtyard in Bisbee is a great, Glenn, you would love this one. It's a great outdoor
It is.
live musical venue, and
Yeah.
they host concerts, special events during the summer months, the warmer months, and it's just an awesome, beautiful setting and just great. Another little art town that people forget about or
Yeah.
don't know about.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie Ray, do you have access to the people that folks might contact if they're interested in playing there? Because it does it takes a little bit
It does.
to get things and another thing that I think you probably have noticed is there's coffee shops up there that will have music during the day, like
Yes,
from 10 to something. And those artists that are in there they're global that
they
come.
are.
Yeah, they're global.
They do, because they have artists that just, are traveling through, maybe going to a bigger show, and they stop in Bisbee.
Right.
So you never know who you're going to see. Walt's there a lot. So
So, I have this question. Do you have the okay, can we put it up on the website?
yeah, I was just
Just
going to
some of
tell
those
you.
numbers. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do have a lot of that
Cool.
information that it would be, I'd rather get it up on the website so you can go to it and see it. But I do
Thank
have
you.
some contacts and everything for some musicians, and
Thank you.
there's many more great venues to visit in Bisbee too. So the best place to go, if you're visiting, well, even if you're a musician, is to check their publication This Week in Bisbee, because they have all their musical events and everything that's going on. So that's a great place to start. But I do have that information, and we can get it up on the Desert Vibe website, where we put all this information, so you don't have to rewind us. You can if you want,
But you don't have to.
you don't have to.
Personally, I use the fast forward button much more than the rewind button. But
I use it when Glenn's talking.
yeah, that's just me. Yeah, yeah.
Jamie
Yeah.
Ray, when you open the program up and say, "I'm going to take you to Jerome," I started cooling off already.
Right? Right? When I was researching, all the music events and everything that's going on, I thought, you know what? It's summertime.
Yeah,
Let's go on a different trip every weekend and
yeah.
take you all over where it's cooler, but there's
Ooh.
music going on. I think people in the valley get stuck and think, oh, fall's over, the music's over. It's not, folks. You got to head up north. You got to
Yeah.
go to the cooler places. And actually, year round they do have music. It's not
Yeah.
as much down here, but they've got music all the time, and
Oh,
it's
year round.
great. It's
Yeah.
great music.
Well, next time, take us to Flagstaff.
Oh, I've got Flagstaff. I've got
You got
Flagstaff
Flagstaff?
coming.
Okay,
I've got
good.
places coming, Walt, that's going to surprise you.
Hey, well,
Oh.
Walt, speaking of Flagstaff, I actually was going to do some focus on Flagstaff for the same reason that Jamie Ray was talking about Jerome, and that is a lot of people are just kind of looking to get away from, 110. Particularly
Smart thing to do.
or 20, yeah,
That's what I said.
or me. Cooler evenings, really, coupled with strong local lineups, are a pretty good thing. And up in Flag, they've got a bunch of free concerts there. In the Park Series that runs Wednesdays from 5:30 to 7:30. Holly Kirsten is up there at Cheshire Park on July 1st. The High Standards are at Smoke Rise Park on July 8th. The Pocket Limes, I love that word, are at the Mobile Heaven Park on 15th. Ryan Biter is at Bushmaster Park on July 22nd. The Coveralls are at Jim Cullen Memorial Park on July 29th. Those are all free shows, I believe. And there's some cool ticketed shows that go on up in Flag this time of year, too, including they got a whole series of tribute stuff. I'm going to say the name of the band, and you can guess as to who they are tributing. Dog and Butterfly.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Three
indeed.
Dog Night.
Heart.
Heart.
Oh.
July
Dog and
3rd.
Butterfly.
July
That's the song.
July 3rd at the Pepsi Amphitheater in Flag. Crazy Train.
Ozzy.
Crazy Train. I'm gonna say Neil Young.
No.
Ozzy.
Ozzy.
See, I got one
way
right.
off. I was way off.
Ozzy.
I was wrong.
That's July 11th.
Wow.
Let's see what else is happening up there. Burning Body at the Orpheum on July 24th. Trish
That's a good one.
Toledo on July 31st. So there's a ton happening up there. And another place people tend to go this time of year is Sholo as well,
Yeah.
which sits over near New Mexico there in the White Mountains, and that's definitely more intimate and local. Jim Curry music is scheduled at the Honda Resort Hotel on July 3rd. White Winged Dove. Now there's another tribute. What would you guess the band would be that they are tributing?
Stevie Nicks. Fleetwood
Stevie
Mac.
Nicks. There
I
you
knew
go.
that.
Yep.
I let her have that one.
You done good. You done good. So there's a lot. There's a ton happening there, and of course, music does not shut down at all in
doesn't.
Phoenix and in Tempe and in Glendale over the summer. There's just a ton. But I should mention in Prescott, downtown and the theater stages there are really busy this time of year. The Prescott Summer Concert Series has Rodeo Days concerts. That's right out on the County Courthouse Plaza on July 3rd and 4th with sets from 1 to 4 and 5:30 to 8:30 at the Prescott Elks Theater. July includes, here's another one, tribute, Jive Talkin'.
Oh, is that the
Talking? I know the song.
Bee Gees?
Bee Gees.
Bee Gees.
Yep. Brothers Gibb.
New song.
That's on July 10th. AZDZ.
Or is that AC/DC?
There you go.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I've never heard of them. I like that.
July 18th, another tribute. This is Prescott. Running on Empty.
Jackson Browne?
Jackson Browne, that's the band. That's
I'm
July
too young.
24th. This one is a little esoteric, but if you're from my neck of the woods, out east in Boston, you would immediately know this. The name of the band is Let's Go.
Is it Boston?
Mm-mm.
Let's Go. From back east.
The Cars.
Oh.
The Cars.
The Cars, tribute to the Cars. That's on July 25th.
Did they have a song? Did they have a song that had that?
Yeah.
title?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's go. Yeah. And then Supernatural is on July 31st. Who might Supernatural be a tribute to?
Jesus. It's like,
nope,
it's like,
not
it's
Jesus.
Walt? Is it Walt?
No, it is really, though. It's like the Guitar Jesus.
Guitar Jesus.
Carlos Santana.
Carlos Santana.
Oh man,
Supernatural.
That makes sense.
So anyway, that's all happening up at Prescott, and
well, that's a nice run.
And in Prescott, it's easy to get to from the valley, and again, it doesn't necessarily require a stay overnight. So that's a quick look at.
Now that they've redone that whole highway going up there, it's a lot easier.
Well, they got the gates and the,
They rerouted the that what is that 89A or whatever.
Oh yeah. That's a lot easier. And it's a beautiful ride too.
Man, that thing was.
Especially if you're in a Lexus.
Well, our guest earlier had mentioned, Diana mentioned that her great-grandparents came here in a covered wagon. Walt actually uses that as his gig vehicle still, because all his equipment fits nicely in the back, and it's faster than his van. I should mention too, Jamie Ray.
I still get to the gig earlier than you.
This is true. But you mentioned haunted things. I wanted to mention too, while we're talking about some stuff in my area. My pants are haunted, and I just thought you'd want to. I just thought you'd want to know that.
Oh man!
Okay. We're going to be offering tours.
Probably too much information for me right there.
When we critique this show, that will be something that will be
right
from the script. Yeah.
So that's thankfully that's all I have.
A question.
I'm glad that's all you have.
How long do you want to keep this job?
I think he's ready to retire.
I'm ready to retire at the end of this show, actually.
Hey, we're already retired, so you just go deeper into retirement. That's why this show
whatever.
is so fun.
You know what I want to talk about too? That Live, Loud, and Local here. I don't want to forget because we're coming up on it. July 4th. Why anybody wants to go out in the valley on July 4th is beyond me, but we all do it. And there's so much music going on July 4th. Gilbert has a big event going on. Schneff Farms always has a huge event going on. And I think they've still got tickets available. Pinell County in Florence, they have a Freedom Fest going on. Sheila E. is the headliner, so that's going to be good. And that's a free event. So that
you're talking.
That one starts at 5. I'm not sure what time Schneff starts.
I should mention too, my haunted tour is free as well.
God, I hope so.
Oh yeah, it's free.
And that's the only thing you discourage people. That's on the discouragement list.
I'm not even putting that on the list.
We should get rolling after. What's happening over in Tempe there, Walt?
Me. Me.
Where are you at?
Me,
Walt,
myself,
what are you
and I.
doing?
Me, myself, and I.
Walt, does Tempe have a big 4th of July coming up? I know they do.
They do, and they do, and I'm just gonna have to post it up onto the website because you go down to the downtown Tempe Authority, I think it is, and on their website they have everything, and it's all nice because it's not. If I'm getting this right, there's a main area, but there's a couple of celebrations around. I think there's some at Diablo Stadium, and there's some in the Kiwanis Park area, and then there's some down in the Tempe. But I've been misleading people all over the place, so you're really going to have to go to the City of Tempe's website and look up events.
To be fully misled.
fully misled. And we are getting ready to start back the open mics here, so the contracts are being drawn up, and we'll start it back in August. And my thinking is it's probably going to be start with the first Wednesday in August. So
that's awesome, and that's early. That's like a month early, right? Usually.
Yeah.
So, that's great.
Hey,
you guys covered so much.
I want to, you know what? I'm sorry, but I want to cover one more thing. I just realized our friend Jordy, she has a new open mic at Good Time Charlie's starting the 28th.
I didn't. What night of the week?
That is a Saturday night.
Wow, that's cool.
And this is a cool one because she's gonna have open mic for bands and possible gigs out of it, from what I understand. So they've got artist showcase, and it's going to be pretty cool.
Nice.
She does a great job with open mic. And when you said open mic, that made me think of the Dark Side in Tennessee. I believe it's Tuesday nights that they.
It is.
It is, yeah.
And I've been to several of them.
They're nice.
And as you find out across the country, open mics are different everywhere. I just got back from New Mexico. I was in Albuquerque. I went to an open mic night there because I was just chilling out. Had a lot of fun. And guess what? There were people in the place who had been to the open mic night in Tempe.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Well, you can check that out starting early August, which is going to be phenomenal. But
I want to give thanks to.
Go ahead.
Thanks to we call them our silent support and everything, but Emma and James, they're really good at. Even though you and I have been in radio for a long time, they give us a critique of what's happening between, and I'm always learning something. That this market of being visual as well as being audible at the same time, there's two things happening at the same time, and they give me and Glenn some really good notes on how to do our job.
We don't necessarily pay attention, but they are good notes. As notes
we can
go.
Tell that Glenn doesn't pay attention because he's giving haunted tours of his
trousers.
Yeah, trousers. Dude, stop.
What?
Nobody's caring.
Pantaloons. Anyway,
he's going to be in trouble. He's going to be in trouble at the next meeting.
Yeah, I know.
It won't be in the next meeting.
I write my own notes on this one.
An email right after this.
Well, Emma and James, thank you guys so much because we really do appreciate it.
Really
and,
do.
Jamie Ray, thank you. Walt, man. But I'm Glenn Gardner.
I'm Jamie Ray.
I'm Walt Richardson. Until we meet again, you be good to yourselves. Take care of one another. And please, let's give peace a chance. Peace.